Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the only podcast in India where we bring a new founder or CEO on every episode to talk about their journey and their story of building a startup. And today we have with us Praveen Nijhara, who is the CEO at Hansa Research Group, which is a global consumer insight company that combines deep expertise with proprietary technology to provide strategic solutions for business growth to clients over 100 countries. Hi, Praveen. Welcome to ELI.
Hi, thank you.
To start with, Praveen would love to hear about your journey. How have you, where did you study? Where did you grow up? And how has been your journey over the years? And how did you arrive at Hansa Research Group?
You're asking me to remember, go back several decades,
Yeah.
more than 30 years behind. I graduated from NMIMS in marketing way back in 1996. Um, I worked for a year in the UK in a company called Market and Opinion Research International,
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the largest and most respected market research companies at that time, um, particularly in the area of consumer research and also opinion polling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that was only a 1 year sort of work visa. So I came back to India, and some time later, then I joined IMRB, which of course was almost, we used to call it the University of Market Research in India, the
Mm-hmm.
Indian Market Research Bureau, which was later became just IMRB. Um, I spent a lot of time at IMRB then, from 99 to 2007, after which I left to join ICICI Prudential Life Insurance for a year. I
Mm-hmm.
came back to IMRB after that in 2008 and was there right until 2019. So when I left in 2019, IMRB was called Kantar, which is a global consumer insights company.
Mm-hmm.
The name changed to Kantar, I think, around 2015. So last 4 or 5 years, I was technically with Kantar,
Okay.
and then I moved to Hansa Research in 2019. So it's all been in market research. It was never my go-to or preferred field to get into when I graduated from NMI from NMIMS.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that people don't know enough about market research
Right.
for them to decide yes or no whether they want to make a career in market research. And if they do know more about it, I think there'll be a lot more people wanting to get into this field.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a very, personally a very satisfying field if you worked in here for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Personal satisfaction is very high. You learn a lot about different sectors. You learn about, you could be working on different kinds of projects across categories at the same time. You meet so many different kinds of clients and so many different kinds of people. It's very interesting.
Got it.
Yeah.
You say people don't know enough about market research. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, people don't know enough about market research as a career.
Mm-hmm.
So, in when people study market research in MBA, they believe it is about making a questionnaire, going out and collecting data, and making a report. Uh, Largely, it is that, but the entire process of questionnaire design, meeting a client, discussing the business problem that the client is having, and hence preparing a proposal to meet the requirement.
Mm-hmm.
The process of devising an entire research study, and most importantly, and the most exciting part of the entire journey is of a project life cycle is looking at the data, which is very interesting. So these are the very intricate activities involved in doing market research. And if you get into the details of that, that's where the interest really lies. It's not really in just saying that questionnaire, data collection, report.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, it's not seen to be a very glamorous field. If I
Right.
say largely marketing, consists of four verticals: sales, advertising, brand management, and market research. Market research must be perceived to be the least glamorous of these four. Advertising sounds very glamorous. Brand management sounds very glamorous. Sales sounds very good for people who love sales, and people who don't like sales obviously don't get into it. So it's sales is very clear. I mean, as a person, I know whether I am sales oriented or not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the rest of the three people are fields that people sometimes like to get into to try and see if they like it. If they don't, then they move out. And out of those three, the general bent of mind is towards brand management and advertising first, because market research is seen to be a very dry subject. At least used to be perceived like that. Just about data, and you're mulling your head over lots of reams and reams of data. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like that. It is very, very exciting. It's lovely to see a lot of the work that you do, clients actually implementing that. You will give feedback on a particular ad that a client is trying to bring on air, let's say next month, and you will say that you need to make these changes to the ad. It's really satisfying to see that when the ad actually comes on air, it's coming there with all the changes you've suggested. So lots of high value decisions are made basis the research report that you may give. So
Right.
you give reports where clients then possibly make changes to, let's say, the plant, something in the plant, add some new machinery worth 100, 200 crores. All of that coming from feedback and surveys and research that may have been done for them. So
Right.
personally, it's a very satisfying field, but I don't think people know enough about it as a career. So that's what I mean.
Got it.
Yeah. And there's not enough written about market research as well as a career. So, people don't know enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's so true. In fact, in my experience, you spoke about the career aspect, but in my experience, even CEOs, CXOs also do not know enough about market research. I have seen CEOs who think that the third-party data sources, or probably sometimes the secondary research you do on internet, that is what they think is market research. But there is a lot of service involved, lot of data gathering happening at primary sources, lot of statistics also involved in the whole market research process. Uh, can
Yeah,
you?
statistics is what makes it sound very boring, actually. When you tell people there's a lot of stats and a lot of data, that's what makes it sound boring. But stats is only one small part of the entire activity. The real insight generation from the data, making sense of the data which nobody else can see, but you, because you have experience of working on that kind of research for a long time, you can pick out the real insight by looking at data and about a short period of time. That's really the exciting part.
Got it. Can you tell us a little bit about Hansa Research? Like, what kind of a company is it? When it was started, the whole story right from the beginning.
So Hansa Research is the largest Indian market research company. Uh, Indian media. It's started by uh, an Indian group.
Mhm.
Uh, Started way back 40 years ago,
Wow.
um, and it was started by Ashok Das, and of course with the help of joined with the promoters at RK Swami Group. RK Swami is one of the leading advertising agencies in the country. And in fact, it's a marketing services group now, because there are a number of other businesses in the group itself: PR, media, outdoor, consulting, lots of businesses there. Uh, so Ashok Das joined in to start the research activity. And the first breakthrough came when the Indian Leadership Survey was awarded to Hansa Research, I think way back in 2003. Indian Leadership Survey is obviously one of those benchmark surveys in the industry. It is a study which the entire media industry looks at, especially the print media. Um, Hansa Research did that from 2003 to 2012, um, which is where it gained in scale because we had field offices set up across the country. We had about 16 field offices set up to do field work in various parts of the country. So, for example, we had let's say, a Hyderabad field center to do field work in Andhra Pradesh and a Lucknow field center to do field work in UP and so on and so forth. And along with that, there were many other smaller projects that we kept getting from several other diverse clients.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's where it started. It's reached a certain size now. We do all kinds of market research now, even bordering on the area of consulting to some extent. We are into all the new age sort of researches that are happening. We have a very successful customer experience business, which is relatively newer, relatively compared to the rest of market research in the brand research space. It's relatively newer. It's only about 20 years old. Brand research has been there for more than 50, 70 years. Um, so we are a very successful business there. We do media research. We do, of course, a lot of brand research. We include advertising research, and uh, I mean any kind of research that any client would need in the area of marketing is done by us. Today, of course, a lot of technology is also being used, so it's very very different from what used to happen 30 years ago.
Got it. Speaking of technology, can you tell us a little bit about how technology has been disrupting the space? Uh, there are various aspects of how technology is being leveraged. One big area is data collection, the sources from which you collect the primary data. I think that space is getting disrupted with technology. For example, you can now have the OTT consumption, how people are consuming the advertisement and the content. You have data on TV consumption, you have data on newspapers are now coming with QR codes, so you can know easily which all advertisements are working or which are not working. So these are some of the examples of how data is being collected through different sources. Sometimes IoT is also helping out, in capturing the data points. So can you tell us a little bit about, how the data collection is being done with technology?
Yeah, so there have been changes to that, uh, and in some cases, traditional data collection methods continue. Um, so the traditional method was face-to-face interviews, which still continues for a number of projects. Um, um, I'm talking about India only right now. Um, Face-to-face still continues for us. CATI, which is computer-assisted telephonic interviewing, so we call it CATI, is very very big. I think 60% of our work is done through CATI.
Mhm.
So these are interviews done on the phone. You call up people, and just short 5-10 minute interviews. That's our very big business there through that method. And of course, if I may call it new age, is online data collection,
Mm,
which is through various means. One is that you get a database of customers of your clients, and you send out surveys to the customers either through SMS, where there's a link in the SMS, and you click on the link and a questionnaire opens up, or you send it to them on their email IDs. The other method is the whole host of consumer panel companies that are existing in the market, many of them.
mhm,
So they have huge panels of people like you and me, with all kinds of demographics, young, old, women, men, all kinds of SEC, A, B, C, whatever. Um, and you send surveys out to the panel, and you can actually target the surveys to specific types of panels. So if you want to do a survey only with women who have recently bought a financial product, they may have some profiles of the people on that panel, and they can send the survey specifically to women who have recently bought a financial product, because they tend to keep profiling the panelists on their panels. So that is the other online method apart from SMS and email. Then there are other smaller, lesser used methods, but they are possible, such as through QR codes and so on and so forth. If you're visiting a store and you want quick feedback, you use the QR code, give a feedback at the store itself. Those things also are available. In terms of analyzing the data, a lot of technology is being used now. Um, so facial coding, eye tracking,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of AI tools to make the analysis faster and possibly more accurate. So you don't need to spend time in analysis. The feedback comes to you really quickly, or rather, the analysis comes to you really quickly, and then you can make a report and presentation to the client much sooner. All of this is helping it's helping in terms of accuracy and in terms of speed to the client. So clients don't need to wait for 2 or 3 months now to get an entire market research study done. Sometimes it can get done in a week's time, and if it's a really small study, they can get the feedback the very next day itself.
Got it. And you spoke about analysis. Can you expand on that? Like, what kind of technologies are in place for analyzing data? I think AI is a big game changer it's pretty good at detecting patterns, which you and I probably would miss out. It's also good at predicting future. Like, you give 10 data points, it can very accurately predict the 11th data point. So, tell us, how have you been using technology in analytics?
Frankly, if you ask me, technology is here to stay, it will only increase. But at this stage, I don't think, this is my personal view, I don't think we are entirely understanding what it can do and how much it can do. And we are overestimating what technology can do only because we don't know enough about it. It can do a lot for us, but because we don't know enough about it, we are possibly not utilizing the benefits to the entire extent. So we are currently using technology in, for example, I'll give an example. If I want to know how good the website of a company uh, is, let's say a company wants to know whether their website is good enough, consumers or people who are visiting the website are happy with the website, or even the app, let's say on the mobile. Are they? Is it easy for them to navigate the app? Is it easy for them to find the features on the app? Is it easy for them to get the job done on the app or the website very quickly, or do they have to keep navigating around? And is it very tedious for them to find, what they need to do and get the job done?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we use technology for that now. So there is a sort of software in the laptop, and we are telling the respondent to go about the website. We tell them, listen, this is the bank website.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to open a bank account, or you want to log in the request to open a bank account. Would please, this is the website. Please go about this website, trying to
Right.
find the process to open an account. So we see what the respondent is really doing. Does he go into savings account and he goes in there, he tries to find. Basically, we are trying to see what a few of these respondents are doing. And in addition to that, the software, the laptop is capturing their expressions
Mm-hmm.
really quickly. I mean, sometimes you find the respondent is getting a bit upset with the too much of navigation. He's not able to find what he wants to do on the website. His
Mm-hmm.
expressions change. It's even capturing all of that.
Right.
Along with that, and with actual feedback that he or she gives, we are able to get better understanding, because earlier we used to only get feedback from them about their experience on the website, and that is claimed. So they say we have to believe what they say. But here we have technology also giving us an additional input about, were they really upset? Were they happy? Were they satisfied with what happened? Was it quick for them and hence happy? The facial expressions, all of that is being captured in by technology, and then that is married into the claimed the stated sort of responses they give to give a more accurate feedback to the client. So that's just one example of how it is being used very, very successfully, and in a number of studies now, especially post-COVID, where this whole thing about transacting on apps and websites has become a lot more. Every company wants to have an app where consumers go onto the app rather than call the call center or go to the branch.
Mm-hmm.
And, so a lot of companies are doing this sort of research where they want to understand experience of their customers using the app or the website.
Got it. Can you tell us what kind of customers are getting maximum value, or in which industries, or in which geographies, or in which size of companies have you been getting a lot of success?
As in, which kinds of companies
Yeah,
use research more, or
correct.
so our work spans across categories and across sectors. As an industry, bulk of the spends from clients come from the FMCG sector
Hmm.
and the BFSI sector, banking, finance, insurance. Um, it used to be telecom, but telecom no longer is spending much on research to the extent that it used to. So it's FMCG and BFSI, and then there are many other sectors like automotive, manufacturing, a bit of e-commerce, which also spend considerably amount. Healthcare, pharma, healthcare, all of this. But BFSI, FMCG and BFSI are I would say, the top two.
And any particular geographies which where the clients are getting more excited about such solutions?
Again, I'm talking about India. No, I think I mean, most of the studies, they tend to be pan-India, depending upon the objective, of course. But normally they tend to be pan-India, and pan-India means it could be depending upon the objective again, how deep they want to get into the country and understand the demographics. It could be top 8 cities, it could be top 8 cities and the next tier of 10 cities. So maybe anywhere between 6 to 8 cities to 20 cities, 25 cities normally is where the research gets done, and this happens pan India, north, south, east, west. Unless it's a specific objective that the client is launching a particular sort of initiative activity only in North India, and they want to study only that part of it. That's a different thing. But other than that, normally it's pan India, and they need to do that because this country is diverse. That's
Mhm.
the that's the complex part of the country and the interesting part. It's really diverse. What happens in Punjab doesn't happen in Tamil Nadu, and what happens in Tamil Nadu doesn't happen in Orissa or Gujarat.
Right.
So you need to study different parts of the country and different states and different demographics. That's the interesting part, but then it makes it more complex as well.
All right. So I just have one final question for you. Tell us, what do you foresee about future of market research? Like, how is this space evolving? What are the new upcoming trends coming in market research industry? And how founders and entrepreneurs should look at market research as a department within their company?
Um, Number one, don't discount the impact of technology. I don't think I think by now, and I'm hoping by now, people are not discounting the impact of technology because it is here to stay and only grow and take over our lives. Uh, so that's number one because I think no longer can we say that 10 years down the line, this will be happening. I think we have to say next year this will be happening, and 2 years down the line it will change further and so on and so forth, much faster. Um there are some who say that traditional market research will not exist. I don't agree with that. I think traditional market research companies will exist. Technology will definitely play a greater role, but the human intervention will stay.
Mhm.
Technology can, make the operational part of the entire project journey much faster, smoother, and possibly more accurate. But you still need a human being at the end of it to make sense of the data,
Mm.
and say whether you go ahead with the product or don't go ahead with the product, or yes or no, whatever. I mean, you still need a human being to make sense of the data at the end of it. So the operational part of research will possibly get completely automated,
Mhm.
but research will stay. Market research agencies will stay. Uh, there will be a lot more technology that will be used. So a lot of client companies also will be having technology being used to, analyze their own transaction data. Many companies have, most companies today have a database of all the customers with their demographics, and they even know what transactions they're doing on a daily, weekly basis. So they analyze all of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
All that will happen, all that will eat into, let's say, the market research agency business, but then the span of market research as a sector is only widening if you include all of that in market research or in the area of consumer insight. But research agencies will stay. You will need the specialists to make sense of the data, which many client agencies, client companies may not have. They may have a lot of data, but many times they don't know what to do with the data.
Mm.
They'll have a system set up where they're collecting constant feedback from customers. They're getting feedback on a daily basis, and they're very happy with seeing a dashboard with some scores on it that my satisfaction is at 66%, whatever else it is. But 1 year, 2 years down the line, they don't know what to do with so much of data that's coming in on a daily basis.
Mm.
They will need AI can help in that as well, but they will still need someone to make sense of the data.
Right.
So my sense is that there are different ways in which research is getting done. Earlier it was just through market research agencies. Today it's through your own data, through AI, through technology, all of that. Everything will find its space
Mm-hmm.
in the larger scheme of things. It's like, suddenly if Netflix and these OTT platforms come in, we are very quick to say that the cinema business is dying down and will die down.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's gone down. Of course, there are much fewer people going to the cinema, but will it completely disappear? I don't know. I think it's all finding their space in the larger area of entertainment. If it contributed to, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number, 50% of the entertainment business earlier, it may come down to 20%, but it'll still be there. And so they'll have to find their own way of staying afloat and, um, finding their space in the larger entertainment space. Similarly, it's the case with research. The way research data will be collected, the multiple methods,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think you can remove the need for a human intervention to make sense of the data.
Got it.
Apart from that, technology will, there's a lot of talk about synthetic data, which is that you're not actually meeting consumers and taking feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Synthetic data is data created out of the data you already have.
Right.
So I've met 100 consumers. Through synthetic data, I can make that 300,
Mm-hmm.
and that still makes sense. I mean, it's not like it's not fabricated data. It's data that still makes sense to
Mm.
a very accurate algorithms that have been used. That possibly will be used, so it will reduce the cost for clients. They don't need to do 300 interviews; they can just do 100 and use synthetic data from there.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the new things that are really happening, which I think all will come in gradually. And it's some of it is already happening a lot more in the West, but I think with India being one of the cheapest research markets in the world,
Mm.
it'll take much longer for it to come here because clients need to be convinced about all of it. And instead of doing 100 interviews, if I have to do 300 interviews, I'll still go out and get them done through face-to-face methods or any other methods because data collection is not that expensive yet in India.
Mm-hmm.
So the tendency will still be, oh, let me go and do 300 interviews. That's the way I see it. But maybe I may be proven wrong 5 years down the line. But I think some of this technology will come in as well. Synthetic data will at some point get into the psyche of Indian clients as well, and they'll be comfortable using that for analysis.
Got it.
So yeah, that's what I see happening in the next few years.
Got it. All right. On this note, we will close the session. Thanks for joining us, Praveen. Pleasure to have you on our platform, and our best wishes for Hansa Research and all your future ventures.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.